But in the 21st century, we face an entirely different kind of challenge. The challenge we face is precisely what the Founding Fathers foresaw would be the supreme test of a free society. They never thought that the main danger to the Republic would come from external foes. The central question was whether, over the long haul, we the people could handle freedom. The question was whether the citizens in such a free society could maintain the moral discipline and virtue necessary for the survival of free institutions. By and large, the founding generation's view of human nature was drawn from the classical Christian tradition. These practical statesmen understood that individuals, while having the potential for great good, also had the capacity for great evil. Men are subject to powerful passions and appetites, and if unrestrained, are capable of ruthlessly riding roughshod over their neighbors and the community at large. No society can exist without some means of restraining individual rapacity. But if you rely on the coercive power of the government to impose those restraints, the framers believed, this would inevitably lead to a government that is too controlling, and you would end up with no liberty, just tyranny.
Barr has the effrontery to talk about rapacity and undisciplined personal character. What he just said sounds as if he's describing Donald Trump, the pimp president, the pair of whores and porn stars from the Oval Office with checks to silence them, the man who assaulted women and never apologized, who said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, the man who turned over the Kurdish and Christian minority in Syria to an Islamist thug for liquidation, the man who liberated ISIS from the camps that 10,000 Kurds died to put them in, the man whose personal morality extends to 3 marriages, endless philandering, thousands of well-documented lies. The man that Trump is could be described no better than in what Barr talked about when he says men are qualified for civil liberty in exact proportion to their disposition to put moral chains upon their own appetites. Who has put less chains on their personal appetites than Donald Trump? Who represents the seamy side of the human race more than Donald Trump? The fact that Barr can say this without just throwing up at the podium or walking out on his own speech shows a depravity in his own character that very few people sink to. It would be as if someone had stood up in the Chancellery in the Reichstag in 1935 and railed against the anti-Semites and then gone and worked for Hitler. It's absurd. It's horrible. This man is the lowest of the low, someone who is a conservative Roman Catholic breaking his own rules of a call to a moral standard by serving a man who has taken this country lower than any president in American history. Barr is a disgusting individual, and there's no other way to say it. I'm sorry, but with leadership like this, America is in a swamp of the very immorality and license that Barr is fulminating against as a manifestation of secularism, which it is not, from a religious point of view. He makes common cause with the pedophile priests here who talk from their pulpit but rape little children backstage. This is a level of hypocrisy the likes of which the United States has almost never seen before.